You gotta see it to believe it. It's open pedal season in Squamish. On today's show.
You definitely want to start off the season with a tune-up so that your first bike ride doesn't end up being a long walk home because you didn't have proper tire pressure or the chain wasn't oiled properly.
Anything under 3,000 feet in Squamish is fair game on two wheels. Then it's mad science at the Barefoot Bistro.
We're using liquid nitrogen. Yeah, maybe we play around a bit with it, but we're not fully on scientists.
And target practice takes full flight in Pemberton.
Shooting ranges and conservation groups have usually gone hand in hand.
Everything boils down to physics this week, today on The Express. Welcome to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And we are a long way away from putting away our skis. But mountain biking season is already on full force here in Squamish. Coming up, the Tantalus Bike Shop is going to give us a local scoop on where to ride. But first, sign up for Cooking Chemistry 101. You've probably heard of a science geek, but what about a food nerd?
Ooh. We're using liquid nitrogen. Yeah, maybe we play around a bit with it, but we're not fully on scientists. We don't have microscope.
There are no test tubes or Bunsen burners in this science experiment. But instead of familiar kitchen spices at the Barefoot Bistro, executive sous chef Gaëtan Charret draws on foreign powders.
It's not chemicals, it's always like natural product. It's like seaweed. Some of it are from the seaweed, some are from like it's different kind of starch.
An alchemist of the kitchen, this Quebec City native practices molecular gastronomy.
I'll do a tuna and hamachi sashimi with a tarragon gel. I'll do as well cucumber, kind of whipped cream, frozen with liquid nitrogen, and then olive oil powder.
Nothing is what it seems in this culinary practice that utilizes the science behind food.
It is trendy. It's like big time trendy. It's always pushing the limit, and then modeling food at some point that you cannot recognize it, but you get the taste of it, or you play with the texture. Put my olive oil, and then mix up the tapioca maltodextrin.
This kitchen chemistry plays with food's properties. Olive oil shape shifts from liquid into a powdery finish, all in the quest for texture.
Tapioca maltodextrin, and it's got the ability of turning every high content fat food into a powder. So that was my first time I saw something like that, so I was like, whoa.
A big part of molecular gastronomy is in the theatricality, the unexpected. Like Alice falling down the rabbit hole, even ice cream isn't what it seems here at the Barefoot Bistro. I will definitely have the nitro ice cream, please.
Cool. When you do a liquid nitrogen ice cream, like the water cells, like they freeze so fast in the cream, so they don't have time to burst or crystallize. So you never get like any grainy texture. So it makes like the most silkiest ice cream.
Molecular gastronomy plays a supporting role on the Barefoot Bistro menu. Science only broadens the possibilities and techniques of a kitchen, making presentation paramount.
It's just opening like a brand new way of seeing food. You know, take an apple. Before we used to do like puree of it, jellies of it. Now we can do like spheres of it, like bubbles of it.
Or in this cucumber's case, a magic frozen foam.
Turn it into something that doesn't even look at like it at all, but you still like preserving the taste of it.
Preserving the physics of both worlds on one plate. From Whistler, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV. Gaëtan also recently won the Whistler Chef's Challenge. A huge thank you to the Barefoot Bistro as well. They recently donated their time and talents to the Zero Ceiling Society of Canada as part of Together is Amazing. Well, I can't believe I'm in a bike shop in Squamish and I'm getting my bike tuned up, and it's only February. Mountain biking, it isn't exactly a winter sport in my head. However, our next story is. And gunslinging isn't just for cowboys.
Pull. Okay, I'm doing all right now. Shooting ranges and conservation groups have usually gone hand in hand throughout history. Pull.
Upholding convention, the Pemberton Wildlife Association maintains a shooting range tucked into the hills just south of Pemberton on Highway 99.
Before we get started, you need some safety gear. There's some brand new shooting glasses for you. And then there's some earmuffs here. This shooting range was built about 7 years ago. We have here a rifle range, a 300-yard rifle range, a 100-yard tactical range, and a trap range and an archery range.
A majority of the Pemberton Wilderness Association members who use this range, including the association's president, Clark Gatehouse, do hunt. However, there are a few people that come here just for the fun of target practice.
Currently, to come to use the range, you either need to be a member or the guest of a member.
For non-members, Clark is now offering the opportunity to learn how to safely shoot a firearm and to see if the adrenaline rush it has to offer is for you.
That's good for me.
What I'm looking at doing is making it so anybody without a license, without a firearm, that just wants to try out shooting can just make an appointment and come up and shoot for a fee. We're going to try out some trap here, which is shooting clay pigeons in the air.
About 2 years ago, the range received a few unexpected upgrades. Thanks to the Department of National Defense, there is an upgraded tactical range, improved buildings, and a two-wheel drive worthy road.
The Department of National Defense needed a place to train their soldiers and practice for their soldiers while they were stationed here during the Olympics. About a year before that, they started on improving and upgrading the range to their specifications.
With so many people in the area that rely on hunting season to fill their freezers for the winter, upgraded facilities are a plus. Good aim takes practice.
Becoming a good shooter is all about practice. And so you've got to remain calm and keep your nerves settled and just keep doing the same thing over and over, as long as you're doing the right thing.
Okay, pull. I may have unexpectedly discovered a new hobby.
That's all right.
From the Pemberton Wildlife Association shooting range, I'm Jessica Turner for The Express.
You put it that way.
You can also try out archery at the Pemberton Range. Drop-in nights begin in the spring. We're dropping into mountain biking. It's early, but so good, and that means it's a tune-up time here at Tantalus.
You definitely want to start off the season with a tune-up so that your first bike ride doesn't end up being a long walk home because you didn't have proper tire pressure or the chain wasn't oiled properly.
Well, she looks ready to go. Where are you going to be taking me today?
I think we'll go ride Wonderland.
Sounds good. I'm going to go gear up.
Sounds great. Usually in the winter in Squamish, it's the lower elevation trails that are open, but right now you can ride up to 3,000 feet, which is basically the top of the trail network, which is pretty uncommon for this time of year to be able to do that.
I can't believe what great condition these trails are in. I was expecting snow and ice and mud, and really, this is springtime riding.
I've been riding Credit Line, Crouching Squirrel, Hidden Monkey, Entrails, some of my favorite trails which have been open all winter. Our friends up in Whistler and Pemberton, they've been coming down when they want to get a little break from the hill and you know, see some dirt and some green forest.
I can't believe how warm it is. Like it's the perfect layering.
It's been great. It's been actually a pretty unique winter where the skiing's been really good and the biking's been good. Usually it's one or the other, so it's, you know, there's not too many places in the world where you can be skiing half hour at the road and then come down to world-class mountain biking. So it's been great.
Whew, my first ride of the season and I am panting. The Tantalus Bike Shop also hosts clinics. You can learn how to change your tire or fix a chain. Now how about learning a little bit more about our neighboring First Nations? Still to come, carving out stories of the Squamish First Nation.
My family is 6 generations carvers in my family.
And hang 10 in Tofino.
You know, nice and sunny sometimes, snowing, raining, hailing. We kind of have a mixed bag of everything here. And that's what makes it unique and exciting.
lead the BC Liberals into the next election? Join hosts Vaughn Palmer and panelists Keith Baldry and Justine Hunter as the 6 candidates face off on Leadership Debate 2011 on Shaw TV.
Welcome back to the Tantalus Bike Shop in Squamish. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald, and you're watching The Express. We're going to pay our monthly visit to the Squamish Lil'wat Cultural Centre. This week, Ambassador Josh Anderson introduces us to the art of carving with the new welcome pole.
Hello, welcome to the Squamish Lil'wat Cultural Centre. I am Josh Anderson, welcoming you here to Whistler's Aboriginal Museum. Welcome figures were traditionally used by the Squamish Nation to welcome friends, family, and guests to their traditional dwellings. We currently have Ceciam, Ray Natrero, and Delmar Williams from the Lil'wat Nation currently carving a welcome figure on our mezzanine deck. The welcome figure is going to welcome guests as they arrive here to Whistler.
We're working on a Coast Salish welcome figure. It's 27 feet long. We have 3 guys and myself working on this welcome figure. It's going to be going up here in Whistler. It's a Coast Salish welcome figure pole. It's telling the story of the area here, of the hunters and trappers and food gatherers. On top we have the creator on top in the shape of a moon, representing the moon. We have lightning bolts coming down. They're called lightning snakes. When they come and hit the earth, in different periods of our history, when the lightnings came, they hit trees and the trees exploded in half and there was gifts in there. And the man on the bottom is the hunter who's receiving the first tools to hunt with. My family is 6 generations carvers in my family. I carve canoes, welcome figures, house posts, bentwood boxes. I do it all when it comes to wood. So I've been carving since 1994 professionally. And I started as a young boy, about 5 years old. Inspired by my great-grandfather, seeing him carve when I was a small boy. It was amazing. It was amazing. He was like 90 years old and he was still carving, telling the stories of the people. He was a really positive influence in my life as a young boy, seeing him carving canoes, and the legacy that he left here, you know, and the teachings that he left here with me, and that I'm sharing them with these guys and leaving our family history and as well as the Squamish history, bringing these poles and canoes back to life and telling the stories of our people, the rich history.
You can watch the carving process right until the end of April. Today we are covering the sea to sky, starting with riding in Squamish, carving in Whistler, and shooting in Pemberton.